Welcome to Breezeway's People Behind the Property series. This series celebrates the professionals who make vacation rentals more than just places to stay. Because behind every spotless clean, every smooth check-in, and each thoughtful touch, there's someone dedicated to elevating hospitality. Our goal is simple. It's to share these stories, to share their impact, and to remind us all that great guest experiences start with great people. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm so excited to be joined today by Sue Brooks, who works down in Hilton Head at Island Time, and big fans, big friends of that team, and so excited to get to know you a little bit, Sue. Tell us a bit more, a little bit about you.
I've been with this company since March of 2024. Came from an airline background, which kind of goes hand in hand with the customer service aspect. Just a little different side of it, but it comes in handy, dealing with the guests down here.
Absolutely. And I don't know if we said it or not, but Sue is a reservationist at Island Time. And so, tell me a little bit, Sue, like what does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day, you come in, you see who's going to check in, make sure their packets. I'm in charge of doing the packets,
Okay.
getting the car passes, making that sure that's in order before the guest arrives. Make sure the property is getting set up to be cleaned, and that it's ready when they come in. And then we go on from there. We answer the phones, any guest in-house guest questions, potential guests, inquiring about properties, owners calling with questions. We just kind of handle it all.
It's a multiple hat wearing job, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Sue, in your role, like what's like the most satisfying piece of it?
I just like helping people. And, if somebody's on this dream vacation, I like to help them plan it, special event or a special birthday or something. I just like to see it through, from start to finish. And that's satisfying. And then when they come, they want to meet you, you put a face to the name or the voice. It's nice.
Yeah, I have to imagine like you get to like learn so much about the guests before they even get there, and like
Mhm.
probably all of these like little pieces of nuanced information that they don't even realize they're sharing. But if you're, actively listening and involved in
Mhm.
these conversations, and for me, it would have to be taking a lot of notes because I'm
We
like,
do.
this is all really great. And then I'm like 5 minutes later, like, but wait, what was it? So taking a lot of notes and then figuring out like how you can make their stay with you all special. That must be, I think that would be so fun.
It is. I mean, absolutely. If somebody tells me it's their mom's 90th birthday, I put that in the notes because I'm not going to remember six
Right.
months down the line. So when I pull it up, I look and oh, yeah, it's your mom's 90th birthday. And they are taken back. You remembered. Or my dog's name is, if they're bringing their fur baby, we put the
Yeah.
dog's name in there. So then we acknowledge that. And attention to detail, they love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Is there a specific scenario? I mean, obviously like the birthday or, bringing the pet, but is there something that sort of stands out when you think about, the last year and a half that, you were sort of able to um, make happen that really had a big impact on a guest?
I just had a guest. He rented one of our properties and he kept saying it was his birthday. I thought it was his birthday. No, it was his girlfriend. He was surprising her. So then our marketing team went in, we put balloons. She turned 30, I believe. Balloons decorated the whole house, and he was very, very happy. And yeah,
I bet. Wow, what you just made him look like boyfriend of the year.
exactly.
Yeah, he was probably like, "Oh man, okay, I this is great."
Mhm.
That's so fun. So when something like that happens, what is that, what is that sort of process that, when you get somebody who's like, "Hey, it's my birthday," and you're like, "All right, we're going to do these things." What does that sort of look like internally? Like what are the steps you go through?
So we turn that over to marketing. So our marketing team handles all that. Now, obviously, I'm sure he paid for the balloons and the flowers, that kind of thing, but we kind of coordinate with them. Or if he wanted a special dinner with a private chef or something, we help them arrange all that. But
Okay.
it looks like he's done it all,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
okay.
the hero, right? You're like, "I don't need the credit. I'm good.
Hmm.
Making sure that this goes
Exactly.
flawlessly." Um, that's so fun, and to be able to be creative and make those special moments even specialer is pretty, make those moments specialer. I don't know how you would say that correctly, but you get the idea, right?
I do. Yes.
You get to have that. Um, what do you think, Sue, is sort of like the hardest part of your job that a lot of people might not even sort of realize?
Sometimes people call, and their dates are already booked. Maybe they stay year after year and they didn't book it soon enough. Or if we have unforeseen, maybe construction at a property, and then you have to move a guest last minute. I mean, that's never fun.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
and sort of managing those conversations in,
mhm,
obviously in a year and a half. Hopefully you haven't had a ton of those scenarios, but I'm sure that they've come up.
mhm.
Are there any like tips or like techniques that you've learned that you feel like have like really made a difference in the work that you do?
I just believe in being honest with people, and they appreciate that. And then you're never caught in a lie. I
Right.
don't lie, so I don't ever have to back up and go, "What did I say?" Because I want to be told the truth, so I believe in telling people the truth.
Yeah.
So if it's a flood at a property, that's not our, we can't. It's out of our control.
Right.
And it's not, you can't stay at the property. There's a flood. So then
Yeah.
we just move them to a comparable property.
Well, I think it's also about like, to your point of, hey, there's a flood at this property, period. Or, hey, there's a flood at this property, but we've done A, B, and C, and you have X, Y, and
Mhm.
Z, right? It's being prepared to have that conversation.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of times, like, sure, people, they spend all of this, time and energy to select the perfect property for them. But the reality is you guys have a large portfolio of homes that all could be the perfect property for somebody.
Mhm.
Um, but it is that sort of like immediate, like, oh no, like the walls are caving in. What am I going to do? And so for them to get on the phone with someone like you who can say, hey, I've already thought through this. Here's what we're doing. Or, yes, I know you had a chef scheduled to come in. We've already contacted them to let them know, you're going to be at this property now, right? Like going above and beyond for them.
Mhm.
But so it's not just like, you're not just taking calls and making reservations. You're really like kind of encompassing of entire like guest services.
We do. Mhm.
That's very cool. What do you think? Obviously Hilton Head is a summer destination. I know we talk, as the industry has sort of evolved, there's no like peak season and then shoulder season and then like quiet time, right? It seems like that peak season is just sort of extended on the front and back ends. But, in the middle of summer, you're crazy busy. What are you doing to keep your energy and your positivity up, like on those long days or those long stretches of days?
We have a good camaraderie between our team. There's three of us in reservations, and we kind of just banter back and forth, like competitions. Okay, who can book or who can, take care of this. So we just try to keep each other lifted up, and with the property managers too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tiring in the summer, but we get through it. We do our countdown. We have this many more weekends until the summer's over.
Yeah. And that's so funny because I feel like for so many people, and maybe it's just me, I live in Ohio, and we put this together that you spend a little bit of time in Ohio as well. But so you will recognize, right? Like for us, it's like summer is all we have.
Yeah.
For anybody from Ohio who's listening, I'm sorry if you're offended by that statement. But it really is like summer is the best time to be here.
Yeah.
For you guys, it's an amazing time, but it's also the busiest time, right? So
Hmm.
it's sort of it's tough for somebody who doesn't live or work in our industry to be like, wait, you're just counting down for summer to be over. Um,
Traffic.
yeah,
We want the
yeah,
roads back,
yeah, exactly.
and
With
the
the roads back,
commutes are
the
shorter.
restaurants
Yeah.
back, all the things.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk a little bit, you mentioned the team and that you have a really, strong team, then you all work together to, not only sort of motivate each other, but also probably like help when you need to. Um, how how does Breezeway, how are you using Breezeway in your position?
So with us, if there's any questions on a property, I can look in there. I can see, oh, okay, this maintenance has been done. Or if a guest reports an issue, I look back. No, the HVAC was just serviced. It helps me do that. And then I can see if there's any upcoming work that's scheduled to be done. If somebody asks me, hey, is anything happening at this property? I can look in there and I can see, yes, they're going to have this. So maybe we don't want to come this week.
Right,
I
right.
mean, normally it'll be blocked off, but if it's not,
Yeah.
or I'll tell them, hey,
Yeah.
HVAC has to come in on this day for their yearly maintenance. Guest doesn't want it, then we move it.
Right, right.
But we can look at all that.
What do you think, would you say like the history of like what's happening in a property or like sort of what's scheduled at the property is like the thing that you're using most in Breezeway in your job, or is there something else within the platform that you sort of rely on?
We use that, but then we also do our messaging with the guests. The guests can text us in-house. If they have an issue, they text us and then we can text them back. Also, when the property's ready, we text them, let them know it's ready early and to call us for a code. So then, that's a better way of communication too. And then the property managers have access to it, so they can also answer the guests as well.
Yeah. Do you think, Sue, that, I don't know what you were doing in your, I know you were in the airline industry prior to coming here to Island Time, but how do you think that like texting with your guests enables you to like be more efficient? Do you feel like it like gives you the opportunity to like multitask more, or how does that sort of play into it?
You can absolutely multitask. And then a lot of times people aren't going to answer the phone, but they read texts. We're more, in this day and age, we're more technologically advanced.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are just texting and versus picking up the phone, because I don't pick up phone numbers I don't recognize.
Same.
And chances are they probably won't. And then if we leave a message, they don't always hear the message. So text seems to go a little better because that pops up right on their phone. They see it. They see it's us because, I mean, it says Island Time.
Right.
And they answer us back. And then we also answer them back in a timely manner.
And it's so wild, right? It sort of, it just, when I think about, when I think about texting, I think about the like efficiency that it gives to you, right? To be able to service and sort of engage with multiple guests at the same time, but also like just the experience that it gives to your guests, right? So they're not on the phone. I remember, I mean, I'm dating myself. I've been in the industry since 2008. And I remember it was probably like, early 2010, maybe 2012. And I remember going into a property, and I don't even know if most properties have landlines anymore, but this property had a landline. We were in Florida, and this property had a landline, and the phone started ringing, and we were all like, wait, what? Like, what's happening? And we didn't answer it, but there was a answering machine at the property. And the message that then played was, hi, this is such and such property management company. We know you checked in yesterday. We just wanted to, make sure everything was there, or, make sure everything is going well. And I thought, like, at the time I was like, oh, that's so nice. But I do think, right, like that was a landline in the property. Like you said, I'm not answering my phone if they're calling me. But you probably see a lot more responsiveness from guests because you're connecting with them in the channel that makes the most sense for them.
Absolutely. Yep.
Anything that's been surprising about the way that guests text, gosh, that's a hard thing to say, that guests text with you about? Do you feel like you have the ability to like create like a more personal connection through text, or?
We can. I mean, we still do our calls. We do a day after arrival call to make sure everybody got settled in. If there's any issues, we can nip it in the bud at the beginning of the stay. And then we also do a call the day before they leave. So we do still call them, but they don't always answer. But then the text just gives us more accessibility to them, I guess.
Yeah.
In a way. And then they do text issues that way too. And then we can tell them, hey, a property manager will be over in this amount of time, just not expectations, where it's going to be an hour in case they get delayed, but that somebody will be at the property to address your issue.
Yeah. Have you found, and this is just not even about Breezeway, but have you found like that people report issues more frequently when you're using text, like that maybe they wouldn't report if they had to like pick up the phone and call you, like they're just a little bit more engaged?
It depends. Some people, obviously your older people, no, they don't text. You're older, because we have a lot of older clientele. They do not generally text. They do the phone call thing. But then, and I guess it's a generational thing. And then the other generations, we get a lot of text. Yes.
I know. I'm always like, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. That's, I
Mm-hmm.
think, like you said, I think it's a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to ask you about and I've been like loving the answers that we've been getting from people on this. So I don't know if you'll have an answer immediately, but um if your job had a theme song, what would it be?
Um, Fireworks from, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name.
Oh, Katy Perry?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, tell me more.
I was just thinking because I listened to the song last night and just the start of it, and like you're getting beat up and everything, but then you work until you achieve what you're looking for.
I love that. Okay, now I'm gonna go listen to that song when we get off
Yeah.
this call so that I can listen to the words because I mean I can hear the chorus. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so bad. I'm like if someone ever asked me this question, I'd be like deer in the headlights. So that was very good, very quick and um okay, let's see. One other thing I want to sort of I want to just sort of touch on before we jump off, and I probably should have asked you this a few minutes ago, but um you know, obviously, like you said, like once you help people, like, and you create these great experiences for them, sometimes they come into town and they want to meet you, but like, you know, how does it, you know, what's the nicest thing, I guess, that like you've ever had a guest like say or sort of share with you about the work and the impact you had on their trip?
Oh, I get it all the time. I mean, I get people, they call back, your customer service was exceptional. We only want to book with you. People that book through other platforms like our Verbo, Airbnb, because obviously that gets our properties more exposure. But we get them with our customer service.
Right.
And they like that. They like that we call them to make sure everything's good. If there's any problems, we address it right away. So no, I get a lot of people, that call and say, "No, we're only going to stay with you guys from now on."
That's
I mean, they
amazing. Well,
may switch properties, obviously families grow or but we get a lot of repeat guests. I've had older people, "Oh my gosh, you guys were so great," and they bring flowers and yeah.
oh, that's so nice. It's funny. I think I said this to Sarah at one point, but I have some friends here in Ohio that go down to Hilton Head and vacation. And when they said they were coming to Hilton, I said, "Oh, who are you staying with?" Because that's of course my
Mhm.
first question. And they said, Hilton time. And I was like, that team. And then when they got back, I was like, "How was your trip?" And they said,
Mhm.
"Oh, it was fabulous." And then fast forward a month maybe, and they were like, "We just rebooked with Island Time for next year." So I do think, right, like that repeat booking, a lot of it goes into that very first experience that they have with your
Mhm.
team, and obviously, you could have an amazing first experience and a really crappy like in-stay experience. But when you can sort of hit all those marks, it's so amazing, and that really does the experience that they have with you, right, is what's
Mhm.
driving that. It's sort of the kickoff to it, and then just being able to continue to deliver on that is pretty amazing. um well, we're coming up on time, but I do want to end with our lightning round, which is just four simple questions. They're either ors, and you can share. Some people have had a really hard time choosing them, but most people have been able to. So you are allowed to pick C, all of the above, if you really need to. But
Okay.
super easy, super fast. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Do you have any pets?
I have 3 dogs.
No. Okay, there you go. Um, Beach or mountains?
Ooh, I like both.
Yeah.
I yeah. I do like both.
It's so funny because I keep thinking like, oh, I sort of feel like, everybody I've talked to has either been in a beach or a mountain destination. And
Mhm.
I'm assuming
Mhm.
they're going to pick where they live. And it's been really tough for folks. Um,
Vacation in the mountains, live in the beach. There you
there
go.
you go. There you go. Best of both worlds. Um, Sunrise or sunset?
Ooh, probably sunset.
Yeah. I was going to say, I see a beautiful sunset picture behind you, I think. Um, and then the last one, Sue, is salty or sweet?
Sweet.
Me too. Um, Amazing. Well, this has been so fun to chat with you. I really
It's very
appreciate
nice
you
talking to you.
jumping on. And anything else? I mean, sort of last parting words, anything you want to share about the role that you do or the industry that that you sort of learned in your year and a half?
I mean, I love it. I mean, they're getting to take their dream vacations. Maybe they've never been here. I enjoy telling them about Hilton Head or, finding the perfect property.
Yeah.
It's just, I love what I do. And I never thought, you're in one job for a long time, different industry. I never thought switching, but yeah, I found another niche. So it is possible,
Yeah.
if you've been doing one thing for a long time, it is possible, to find another niche. But no, I love it, and I plan to stay here as long as I can still work.
I love that. Well, and we are clearly you're doing a really great job since you were nominated to be a part of this. So we appreciate your time. It's been super fun to get to know you, and thank you for sharing what you're doing on a daily basis to help make those incredible experiences for those guests that coming down to Hilton Head. So appreciate it.
Thank you.